I used to think some questions were harmless. The kind people ask just to make conversation. But the day his boss smiled and casually said, "Why won't you date?" everything changed. Because his answer didn't just stop the room, it broke her in a way she never expected. Before the story begins, take a quick second to support the channel. Subscribe, like this video, and drop a comment below to tell us where you're watching from. This is Kindness World, where small moments of kindness turn into stories that stay with you. He was the kind of man people rarely noticed. Early 30s, tired eyes, always polite, always on time. A single dad who worked quietly at a mid-sized company in Ohio, doing the kind of job that kept everything running but never earned applause. Every morning, he packed a small lunchbox with a note tucked inside. Every evening, he rushed home instead of going out with coworkers. People assumed he was antisocial. Some thought he was just boring. His boss noticed too. She was successful, confident, and sharp. She believed in team bonding, office dinners, and happy hours. And she couldn't understand why he always declined. One afternoon, after a long meeting, she stopped him as everyone else left the room. She smiled, trying to sound casual. "Can I ask you something personal?" she said. He hesitated, then nodded. "You're smart, kind. You've got your life together," she said. "So why won't you date?" He didn't answer right away. Instead, he looked down at his hands. Hands rough from work. Hands that had learned to braid hair and tie tiny shoes. For a moment, she thought she'd crossed a line. Then he took a slow breath and spoke. "Because every time I think about dating," he said quietly, "I picture my daughter sitting alone in her room, waiting for me." The smile faded from her face. He continued, his voice steady but soft. "My wife passed away 3 years ago," he said. "Since then, it's just been me and her." He explained how his daughter still slept with the light on. How she checked the door every night to make sure he was home. How she asked, more than once, if he would ever leave her too. "I don't want her to feel like she's second place," he said. "She's already lost enough." The room felt heavy. His boss felt something tighten in her chest. She had asked the question out of curiosity. She hadn't expected truth to answer back so painfully. "I know I deserve happiness," he said. "But right now, she deserves it more." He gave a small, apologetic smile, as if he were the one who should feel bad. Then he picked up his bag and walked out. She didn't say a word. That night, she couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about how many times she'd pushed him to join team dinners. How many times she'd joked about setting him up. How little she'd actually seen him. The next morning, she did something unexpected. She called him into her office. He walked in nervous, probably worried he'd said too much. She stood up, closed the door, and surprised him by saying one simple thing. "I'm sorry." He looked confused. "I should have listened instead of assuming," she said. "And I want to help, if you'll let me." From that day on, things changed. She adjusted his schedule so he could leave early for school pickups. She made sure meetings ended on time. She even set up a quiet corner in the office where parents could video call their kids during breaks. But the biggest change came weeks later. One afternoon, she handed him an envelope. Inside was approval for a paid family day off, every month. "No questions. No conditions. So you can make memories," she said. "The kind that last." His eyes filled with tears, but he didn't let them fall. He just nodded and said, "Thank you." A few months later, something else changed too. His daughter began smiling more, sleeping better, laughing louder. And one evening, as they sat on the couch watching cartoons, she looked at him and said, "Daddy, it's okay if you're happy too." He froze. She smiled and added, "I know you'll never leave me." That was the night his heart finally loosened its grip. Kindness didn't fix his pain. It didn't erase his loss. But it gave him space to breathe again. And his boss. She learned that kindness doesn't always look like big gestures. Sometimes it's listening. Sometimes it's not asking questions you're not ready to truly hear. So the next time you wonder why someone lives the way they do, pause. There may be a story behind it, quiet, unseen, and held together by love. And maybe, just maybe, your kindness could be the moment that helps them heal. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs a reminder that kindness still matters. Because it does. Now more than ever.